Alf and Hulda Elben of Oslo, Minnesota have a museum at their farm home, and it's quite a place. Over 1,300 items are on display, and the atmosphere really reflects their Norwegian heritage and their sense of history. If Spin ever compiles a list of unforgettable characters, the name of Alf Elden of Oslo, Minnesota will rank right near the top. The 78-year-old farmer and his wife Hulda live on a farm near Oslo, Minnesota, and a trip there is like a visit into the past. The first thing to catch your eye is Elden's collection of old steam engines that sit like silent sentinels in the farmyard. Elden became interested in the steamers in the early 1950s and started building his collection. From 1955 to 1972, Elden held a threshing bee every fall, and one weekend, an estimated 5,000 spectators jammed the farmyard to watch that operation. These machines are in running order, and from time to time, Alf will fire them up for curious visitors to the farm. The collection includes a Minnesota Giant that dates back to the middle 1800s and a double-cylinder Rumley, probably the most familiar name to steamer enthusiasts. But the center of attraction is the Elden Museum, built in 1959 to house a growing collection of early American and Norwegian items dating back to 1781. The museum houses over 1,300 items, and many more are in storage as the museum is now filled to capacity. Alf and Hulda welcome visitors to the museum from May 15th to October 15th, each Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. In addition to a memory for names and dates that visitors will find startling, Alf will also provide some music. This is an old Norwegian instrument called a positiv, and Alf started our tour with a brief concert.
Not bad. Really much music.
Well, it sure beats quiet. That's been here a while. Has that been here since you opened the museum?
Shortly after. It was one of the first years after we opened up. A man with his wife come here, and he had both of them along. The other one was a little cheaper case on, more simple. So then I decided to buy this one.
What are those songs that we hear on there? Do you know the names of any of them?
On the phonograph?
Yeah, on this one.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea. But I had to pay $500 for it. They are worth a lot too. There's so few of them.
Yeah. That's in good shape.
Yeah, very nice. And here's the case for it.
Oh, you got everything there.
See, this is a pipe organ. Here's the pipes. And then bellows in the bottom, the little crank on the shaft that operates it.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty. Where did you say that phonograph came from?
It was bought from Sears Roebuck, but it's made by Columbia Company. And we have, I think, 3 in all Columbia phonographs. The latest one is an electric one we have in the house, playing disc records.
Okay.
Yeah, that was something to laugh at.
Just how
theme song?
Yeah, I think so.
Where's that stove from?
I bought it on the place where my father was born. Some relatives of mine still own the place. And they had used it until shortly before we come there. That was in 1958.
Why don't you show us how it works?
And
How do you get up?
yeah, see, here is a cooking lid. And up here you can even cook coffee this high up and keep, this is more like a warming oven because it don't get quite as warm higher up. And it's made so that the heat and smoke goes up on this side and then it has to cross over and then up here and back again. Because that's the only way it can go. See, here this is enclosed and here it's open for the smoke to go up and then the other way around on each one. See, here it's closed on the front.
See, they tell all those stories about the Norwegians as a pretty smart guy that made that stove, but
Yeah, and that far back.
yes.
And see how neat it is made. It isn't clumsy and heavy. Like a lot of old things were so awful clumsy made, but this sure is not.
And that was in your father's home in Norway.
Yes.
What do you got there?
The grandma's coffee mill. And it's mostly all wood. Even this is made from wood. And then it has the ordinary tray for the coffee. And it really has been used because it shows wear on the inside of that drawer.
Where'd that come from?
Oh, that I don't know if it come from Grandma's home place or if she got it after she was married, but it come from Norway, of course. And this is one that my father bought. I can remember when that was bought, of course. That's many years ago now.
Al's father came to this country from Norway in 1869. In 1878, he returned to Norway and convinced his parents to make the move to Minnesota. Many of the items in the museum were used by the family in those early years. Now these are all the tools that belong to your father. They came from Norway?
No, they're American.
They're American tools?
Well, there may be a few pieces from Norway. The one especially that I'm not sure of.
I would suppose in those days a good set of tools, you almost had to have those because you'd built almost everything.
Oh yeah. My father in winter, and when there wasn't any field work, he used to work for farmers in Goodhue County. But in winter he did a lot of carpentry, like he told one time him and others were finishing a church on the inside, and that was in winter.
What's this?
Washing machine. That's the only washing machine Mother had.
This is your mother's?
Yeah.
Boy.
See how it works? Clothes in between there. Really rub the clothes. And to put the clothes in, see, this lifts up the top part, and this, and then put the clothes in, and then put it on. And this has springs, like if you had a lot of clothes.
I see. Was that guaranteed to take care of ring around the collar?
Oh, I imagine. I'll take care of everything. Oh, this here, that's for taking wild oats out of grain. See, that big drum is lined with flannel, fluffy flannel. And then it feeds the grain into that end of the drum, and the drum turns slowly around, and then it's set at an angle, so the grain comes out this end, and then it has two wires up at the top that are stretched real tight for scraping the wild oats off, and they come out in a small spout on the other end.
How old is that?
Oh, I don't exactly remember, but it might have been bought around 1914 or 1916. Built in Fargo by Albert Høyland, another Norwegian.
What do we got here?
It's a hand-powered threshing machine used in northern Norway, north of the Arctic Circle. And I bought it in 1958 and shipped it home.
When was this built?
That I'm not so sure, but there's a write-up here. If I remember all of it, a lot of it missing. It says it's prize awarded, and they received 249 prizes at different fairs and expositions in every European country.
The Eldon Museum has a number of old musical instruments, including this organ with a hand-operated bellows that supplies the air. Alf and his wife Hulda teamed up for another musical interlude. About 10 years ago, the Grand Forks Chamber of Commerce tried on 2 occasions to persuade Eldon to move his museum to that city. Eldon turned them down. His reason? If we did, we'd have to leave our farm, and we can't do that. After 78 years, Alf Eldon's roots are firmly planted on a farm full of memories near Oslo, Minnesota.